Hey, what's up guys? Ryan from Elevate Security here, answering some more of your security questions. And definitely, if you haven't already, comment down in the section below if there's any questions you want answered. I will be out of town for the next couple weeks, so I'm pretty much just going to be picking up your questions, answering stuff, making videos. Instead of just doing them all in one, I'm going to dedicate entire videos to answering different questions. So in this video, answering the question of what are some alternatives to OSCP, just to get a job, right? The guy asking, and I apologize, I do not know how to pronounce the name of this guy, but I'll answer his question, and I'm sure that a lot of my viewers have been wondering maybe this question as well, so I think it could help a lot of people, right? So he basically asked, he says that OSCP is like really expensive as an for international students, and that he's wondering if there's any alternatives to OSCP perhaps, and if not alternatives, just how can he get his foot in the door in security. Now, one thing that I'll say is, let's take a step back for a moment and just recognize the fact that many people, the vast majority of people in security, even on the offensive side, do not have the OSCP. So, one way to look at it actually is that not only do you not need the OSCP to land a job in security, I know I make a lot of content on it because it was somewhat of an interest of mine and a personal challenge, but for most people, especially if you're looking to get into this field, OSCP is extreme overkill. Not just overkill, but I would say extreme overkill, right? Many people that have even been in the field for a while don't have this certification. Now if you can get it, it's pretty good, right? It looks good on your resume and stuff like that, but don't think that you have to have it in order to get a job. In fact, I still don't have it, and I've been in the field now for a little over 5 years. So basically, to get your foot in the door, if you're trying to get into security, the best thing that you can have really is some experience in a related field, okay? Because that's going to allow you to most easily make the transition over into security. So I don't know where you guys are at right now, you guys that are looking to join this field, but what you want to do is you want to position yourself to be able to make that move, right? I've talked about this before on my channel, but essentially security, offensive security, IT security in general, it's not considered an entry-level position. So basically view it as like a senior developer role, right? You don't just graduate from college and land a senior dev role, right? You start as a junior developer. Now, basically the equivalent to that in the realm of offensive security is there is no junior developer direct equivalent. That's like working in IT or working as a programmer. Now, I'm not saying that to put down these jobs or anything, but what I'm saying that to illustrate is that, of course there's always exceptions out there and there's always edge cases, but in general, security is not, and it's not meant to be an entry-level position. It's more of, like I said, a senior position, right? By nature, right? So what you want to do is position yourself by, starting out in IT, right? And that's going to help you a lot when it comes to security. If you understand how to configure the systems or how to write the code, it's a lot easier to hack that and be able to explain to those system administrators or those programmers why, what they've configured or coded is, vulnerable. So having that knowledge is really important. And so when it comes to, employers and stuff, if they see that you've been inside the greater IT sphere for a number of years, and they also see that you have, an appetite for learning this stuff, right? That's going to help you on the interviews, by the way. If you can convey that you have an interest in this area, right? That you went out and learned things on your own, right? Like you studied the content that we talk about on my channel, that you've, done some CTFs on your own, played around with some of these tools. That's very valued in this industry. And the reason that is so valued in this industry is things move so fast in the security world and the IT world. While there are certifications and there are courses out there, they're always going to be very behind just by nature, right? Like OSCP is very, behind what's going on in the current trends and the current, like, what actual security looks like, right? I'm not putting that down. I'm not saying that you can't learn a lot from OSCP or you can't learn a lot from all these different certs out there, but they're never going to be cutting edge, right? There's always like just so many things that are coming out. By the time they make a course for it, there'll be a new hot thing out, right? So that's why self-learning is very valued in this industry. So if you can, show an employer that you have an interest in this and you went out and learned things on your own, and that's going to carry a lot of weight for you. So if you combine those two things, the best way, the easiest way is to make a lateral movement within your company, use some of your networking skills. A lot of times these security groups, there's security groups in your area that have meetups, right? Like you might be able to go to something like a OWASP community meetup, which is the sort of web security group, OWASP. They have a website you can look up and can find some events. Now, maybe with the current state of the world, there might not be as many meetups going on, but they might have some virtual stuff. We can go in and network with people in the industry. Same thing if you have like any other kind of hacker events, right? Maybe if you work for an IT company and they have a security team, maybe sort of network with those guys, find out if there's any events or maybe virtual events in the case of 2020, right? That you can attend, and that'll really help get your foot in the door. So yeah, there's some tips for you. You don't necessarily need OSCP to get, it's pretty overkill to think that you have to have that to get into the industry. You definitely don't. You don't need any certs necessarily. You don't necessarily have to have any certs to get your foot in the door and get started here. When I first joined security, I didn't have any certs. Now I did have a degree from like one of the big universities in a related field, like a security degree, but you don't have to have that stuff, right? If you network well and you take it upon yourself to learn this stuff, combine that with, some experience in the overall IT industry, you should be just fine. So yeah, I hope that helped answer your question. Anyone that might have had that same question, let me know down in the comment section below if there's anything else you want answered. We'll be making these kind of videos, just answering your questions for the next couple weeks. And yeah, if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.